day after a breakup. Except it wasn't even a breakup because I was never in a relationship. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of us have been there where, you know, I don't know, because I've never even been there actually. I will say this is the most mature, like, pause / parting of ways that I've experienced, like, ever. So there's a lot to be said about growth. But yeah, essentially, without going into too much detail, because you know I like my privacy, for pretty much the past almost 2 months, I have been talking to someone who I met while abroad. You know how I am. You know, every time I go abroad, it's always something. And I even mentioned them in a TikTok video. Well, not like them specifically, but just like reference when we went on our date, our first date, and like how much I enjoyed myself and like actually just like enjoyed myself. Had been talking since then, live in other countries. We don't live in the same country, which again is usually kind of the big downfall of dating while traveling, because chances are you're gonna meet someone who is not in the same city or maybe not even in the same country as you, which theoretically isn't a problem for me, but I've also never been in a situation where I've seriously dated someone in another country. I've done other cities, and even that was a bit of a stretch. Like, even as much as I have pretty much almost exclusively had long distance dating experiences, the one long distance dating relationship that I had, like, it was a struggle because of the distance, and because of making life plans with distance. And I'm not gonna say it's because I'm very attached to New York, because I don't think that's it, but it's like things become a little bit more complex when you are as attached to New York City as I am. This shake is thick. But yeah, at any rate, like, it became increasingly clear to me that we weren't in a situation where we would be able to see each other anytime soon, for good reasons that I won't get into. Like, I'm not mad, I'm not upset, like, I fully understand the reasons why it's not so simple, or it's not so easy. But being a big girl and being a grown-up, like, and growth for me just looked like being like, okay, like, you could exist in this fantasy world where you enjoy the feeling of having someone to talk to, enjoy like the text messages and the FaceTimes and the, you know, and you know you really like this person. You could live in that fantasy world where you let that go without time limit for months on end. Or you could live in the world where you have the conversation, bring it up, but fully know that like you're most likely going to have to put things on pause because like you can't do that again. You simply can't. So in this situation, I had a feeling that it was going to be a case where the smart thing and the mature thing and the learning from my lessons thing would be to end it. Because it's just, given the full picture, it was just like, okay, like, if I'm being realistic, this is probably not gonna work, or this is probably not the best timing. But it was tough because I'm like, oh, I don't really dislike this person at all. In fact, I actually really do like them. I don't really see anything wrong with them at the moment. Of course, those are things that you see like when you spend more time with them. But what I'm saying is I saw issues with people who I haven't met before. Like, you don't need, like, you know, when you talk to people and when you FaceTime them and like you talk to them over extended periods of time and you see certain red flags, like I've been in those situations before to know that like, oh, like this person actually like is cool and I vibe with them and I really like them. But yeah, I basically, like, I had initiated a conversation and then like made the big girl move of like, yeah, I kind of need to take a step back. Which I'm glad I had the conversation instead of leaning into my defense mechanism of ending it, because I was also considering that. Like, I was just like, well, like, I don't think they're interested enough in me. They don't want to see me, like, you know, let me just boop, cut it off to preserve myself and preserve my feelings, which in turn, like, can hurt other people. So I spoke about it with my life coach, and we just, like, I came to the conclusion, or she helped me come to the conclusion that, like, there are no disadvantages to gaining clarity. And like, if I had just been like, well, like, this is not going to work because it's not progressing, like, I would have missed out on a really great conversation where I learned a lot, and feel a lot more settled in the fact that, like, there's not an issue other than just like the circumstances and the timing aren't right. I mean, I feel very, like, I went about it a very mature way. I feel like it was a very mature conversation. And I feel like ultimately, like, there was no other decision that I could make, because I have to preserve my feelings. Like, my feelings won't know, like, 8 months, like, if we keep talking and it's like 4, 5, 6 months in, like, my feelings, I can't be like, feelings, you're not anybody's girlfriend. Like, you can't, like, you know, feelings, you can't want to do this, or feelings, you can't be upset. Like, my feelings are going to be my feelings. And so I absolutely know I did the right thing by siding with preserving my feelings in a positive and productive way. But it still sucks. It still sucks. I think a lesson that I'm grateful for, that it kind of taught me, one, obviously, is communication is key. And instead of letting things like ruminate in your head on your own, like, just voice it and be honest. The truth will always set you free. You know the vibes. But also, it's made me think through, you know, the whole, if he wanted to, he would. I'm a very strong proponent of if he wanted to, he would. And that's why sometimes it can lead me to take things very personally when I shouldn't. Because in this situation, I could have been like, well, if he wanted to see me, he would. Like, he would move, you know, hell and high water. I don't even know if that's a saying. But if he wanted to, he would. Like, and I could say that. And if I do say that, I'm the one that ends up being hurt, and it's my feelings that end up being hurt, and I act on those hurt feelings, right? I act on if he wanted to, he would, but he hasn't. Therefore, he's not interested enough in me. Therefore, I need to cut it off. Like, therefore, I need to make sure that I don't get hurt. And like, that is sometimes it's warranted. Like, sometimes, like, he really is just not that into you. Like, if the man lives in your city and he's not trying to take you out, like, yeah, I truly believe that's a if you wanted to scenario. But then sometimes, and I normally don't, you know, I'm not the biggest advocate for men. But I now see that sometimes, like, genuinely men need to get their act together before they can be in a position to, like, date at the level that they fully want to. And I'm never, ever, 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 ever going to fault someone for wanting to get it together, like, at all. I know what I as someone who is very, like, girl, you need to get your life together and let's work on the things that we need to work on and do the things that we need to do. I fully understand what it means to need to get your life together. And so I'm not being like, oh, and it's not always if he wanted to, he would, like, but sometimes it really is bigger than that. And sometimes there's a bigger picture, and that if he wanted to, he would is a very small portion that can only be applied in certain circumstances. I'm glad at least that I had a conversation, because now I don't feel like it's a matter of not being liked enough or not being wanted enough. Now I feel like it's a matter of like, oh, okay, like, this is kind of just the difficulties of meeting people at the various stages of life that they're in. That being said, I like have to get back into the space of like not talking to this person. But the good news is, and I think I'm gonna journal, I love having positive dating experiences because I love having more experience. I love having examples of things that I liked. I love having examples. Like, it's so much easier to find and to note the things that you don't like. Oh, I don't like when he did this, or he wasn't this enough, or he wasn't tall enough, or I don't like that. I don't like the way, because people give us so many examples of things we don't like. And obviously if I had everything I wanted, like, I would be, who knows, married. Who knows? I don't even think I would be married, because that's like a lot for me right now. But like, maybe I might be in a relationship at the very least. But I like having positive experiences though, because I like can make note of that. And like, I know certain things that I'm just like, oh yeah, like I liked this, or like it makes me like, it helps me refine the list of what I'm looking for. Because I know it and I've experienced it and I know how important it was to me. So like, I've always said, and this is not just this doesn't just pertain to men and dating and romantic life. This pertains to like friends and family and just people in general. One of my biggest things is like being a person of your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it, is me. Like with me, don't tell me you're gonna do something and then not do it. So even the smallest things, like if you tell me you're gonna take me on a date, if you tell me you're gonna call me at a certain time, if you tell me you're gonna give me this or do this for me and you don't do it, it's really hard for me to look past that. However, I haven't had too many experiences of the reverse where like someone is of their word and someone says what they're going to do and then does it, until this experience. And that's what really stands out to me. Like, oh, I really like this person, like would never say that they're going to do something and not do it. And that like, so that's going on my list of like, check, like we've gotten that, we've experienced that, and we know that we really, really need that in a person, because like, it's just a level of security that I would appreciate in a relationship. Like if you're like, because the thing is, nobody's forcing you to say stuff. Like a lot of times when dudes like fall back on what they're promising, it's like, I didn't ask you to promise me these things. I didn't ask you to deliver on these. You were the one who thought I wanted certain things. And now here we are, and I'm looking at you sideways because it's like I hate that. I really hate that. I'm a type of person where I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do something and not do it. If I say I'm doing something, I'm going to do it. I'm just gonna live my life. I'm gonna stay busy. I'm gonna stay occupied. And speaking of which, we've got some work to do. I didn't actually end up doing that much work yesterday because, as we discussed, I was just feeling a little bit, I think I needed to take a day. So I did that, and the downside of that is a video that I have due today at noon. I was supposed to film it yesterday so that I could edit today. Oh no, not this nail about to pop off. So it is like, it's 8:53. This video is due at noon, so I'm on like crunch time. That is my #1 priority for the day. I know I will definitely be able to get it in, but it's just one of those, like, you have to start right on time, do what you got to do, focus, get the video in so that you could do the rest of what you have planned for today. So that's what I'm about to do. I have the products here. It's a campaign for CoverGirl. I have my iPad here with my script. Let me bring it up. It's plugged in. But basically, I have my script here. I have the products that I'm going to be using here. I'm about to set up my phone on my little suction mount on my mirror. And I have my lens cloth here as well. So I'm pretty much ready to start filming, which is exactly what I will be doing. If someone walked up to you and just said the words easy, breezy, beautiful, if someone walked up to you with no context and just said the words easy, breezy, beautiful, easy, breezy, beautiful, easy, breezy, beautiful, I actually like the way that brow gel did that. Any person would probably respond, CoverGirl. I'm trying to make sure that the CoverGirl branding shows without forcing it on them. Any person would probably respond, CoverGirl. Any person would probably respond, CoverGirl. Any person would probably respond, CoverGirl. Well, let's pause right there. That speaks to how iconic the brand is. And it's why I'm so excited to partner with And it's why I was so excited when CoverGirl asked me to partner with them. Just like that, we are done. It is 9:22. So I think that took us like exactly 30 minutes. Perfect, because I really do think it's possible for me to edit within 30 minutes and still get this in on time, if not early. So super excited about that. I have about 30 more minutes before all of the apps on my phone open. So productivity can still be pretty high at this point in time. So I am going to just straight away go and edit that video so that by the time my phone unlocks and all of the distractions of the world and email, Gmail, Instagram, TikTok, all of that stuff are available to me, I would have already completed the one major thing that I had to do today. Want to shout out some products. I think I mentioned this already, but I actually really am not mad at this Skin Perfector Essence. I really do love a good, when my skin is acting right, and my skin actually hasn't been acting right. I've been breaking out on this side of my face, but it is what it is. I've decided I'm going to be kind to my skin. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to stress out over it, because the more I stress, the more I break out. So I'm just going to be like, you know, it is what it is. We got a nice little beauty mark going on over here is what I'm telling myself. But I used that for my face, which I appreciate. I use this CoverGirl concealer. You know what I want to do? I want to try playing around with limiting the range of the makeup products I use. And what I mean by that is like I feel like those full glam looks like that will have like basically UK girl style makeup, which will be like extra bright under eye, extra harsh dark contour, like basically stark contrast. And like for some reason I feel like the real flawless beats that like, I'm not saying I don't want it to look like I have makeup on, like full glam, but like something about it just looks so put together. I feel like that comes from using shades that are closer to your skin tone. So like not doing the harsh contrast concealer, not doing the extra bright powder. And so basically like I used this shade for extra brightness, which normally would be the shade that I use on my entire face or like everywhere that I would highlight, but I just used this on the inner corner of my eye. Ooh. And then I used this shade as my, why do I look extra shiny? Interesting. Excuse me. I guess it's an Essence after all. But this is a shade that I would normally not use as a brightening, like as my highlight concealer, because it's very close to my skin tone. But I like how just like cohesive and not like extra it looks. And pro tip for beginners, the further away you go from your own skin tone, like the more advanced you have to be, or the better you have to be at things like blending, because otherwise you're just gonna have harsh line, like it's gonna look like highlight is here, rather than looking like, oh, this is just a face that like is mimicking kind of what your natural face would look like. So I think I'm gonna try out like using less bright powders, just to test it out. I have an event tonight, so I might like test out what that looks like. But I kind of like how this turned out. For like even the setting powder that I used, it was like a dark setting powder, like it wasn't like a bright setting powder. And I think I kind of like that. I'm talking too much. I gotta go edit this video. The time is 10:22 and I have already submitted the video that I just filmed. So that took When did I start? That was actually an hour? When did I start filming? 8:53, so an hour and a half. An hour and a half it took me to film, edit, add text overlay and do all that fun stuff, caption, and then upload it to Trello, which is the project management app that my management company uses. So the time is pretty much 10:30. It's 10:22, so I'm actually gonna take a break, probably like 10 to 15 minute break before, and I'm probably gonna use this break to just scroll on social media, maybe upload my morning stories. I'll just scroll for now. But next on my to-do list for today is, what do I need to do? YouTube video. Funny, it's like Inception, it's like a double whammy. I'm vlogging this week, but I think this video is gonna go live the week after this week. So for this Sunday, it's my hope to post or to have ready to post a video about how I plan my weeks. So I have a new camera. In addition to this camera, which is a DJI Osmo, I have a Sony camera that's a lot easier and like more of like a cinematic camera. So I'm gonna use that to film my sit down YouTube videos that aren't vlogs. And I wanna shoot some like B-roll of me actually like planning my week so that I can like, I'll film a sit down. When I post the video, you'll see what I'm talking about, or hopefully the vision of what I'm talking about will be reflected in that video. But I want to do like a sit down talking video, but then I want to have some B-roll footage of like how I actually do the things to plan my week. And I want to play around. I have Final Cut Pro, I have a new desktop. Like I'm ready to be a video creator, video forward creator finally. So I'm gonna take a break and then shoot some B-roll for that. Let's get ready to go to dinner. Got invited to a dinner hosted by Fortune and Forks. Also, I'm filming again on my iPhone, but I'm filming a like non-talking video or voiceover video. To a Fortune and Forks. I got invited to a Fortune and Forks dinner, which I'm actually excited about because I don't know, I've heard a lot of things about Fortune and Forks. Well, not heard a lot of things, but like I've seen a lot of people, I've seen their events. I need a mirror because there's something in my eye. I've seen their events and I even considered submitting an application to join. But life got ahead of me and I just had to think about, I don't know. One of the things that I'm working on, I don't know if this is a toxic trait or what, is my strong aversion to applications. I just really don't like it. Like, I really don't like applications because I'm just like, why do I have to explain myself? This pimple is irking me and I just want y'all to see. I don't know why these dark spots are a thing. And then this pimple over here, like it's gonna leave a dark spot even though I haven't like picked at it or anything. Like haven't popped it, haven't picked it. It's just I'm very prone to dark spots. But that's besides the point. Yes, Fortune and Forks. I had seen, you know, it's like a community of women that are like doing the thing, on the rise, on the grind, trying to make connections. And I feel like it gives like social club vibes in a way that I could benefit from, considering the fact that like, I don't know, when you go from working in an office or working in a traditional industry to working for yourself, if you're not careful, you can be very just like isolated. And not like nobody sees you isolated, but like I work from home every day isolated in a way. Like if I don't make an active intention to get out and make connections and meet people, like there are no, I mean, technically influencer events are networking events, but like they're not choiced by you and they're not necessarily people that you might always want to be around. So that was just my nice way of saying that was just I'm just trying to be nice. I'm just trying to say that not all the spaces where I can network are spaces that actually appeal to me, but Fortune and Forks does. So they invited me to a dinner for Black History Month. Thankfully, I didn't even need a membership for this one because I did not even follow through with that. I'm dressed and ready to go. I filmed a TikTok. No. I filmed a reel, what will be posted as a reel, but I totally forgot. I was like, oh shoot, I'm vlogging, but it doesn't even matter because I'm gonna bring you with me to dinner so we can see what that is like. But I'm satisfied with how the makeup turned out. Or am I? I've been dealing with a lot more creasing these days, and I think it's just creasing that's related to my skin and not the actual product. Yeah, I'm so not satisfied with the texture. I'm so annoyed. I'm being very critical of myself right now, and I need to stop. I need to stop.
This is our New York installment. We did one in LA a couple of weeks ago, so thank you guys so much for coming out. I'm not surprised though, New York, y'all be showing.
You guys always show love.
Yeah. So we're gonna give you guys a little bit of background for those who are new here, because we do have some new faces.
We have a lot of new faces.
We have a lot of new faces here. We're gonna give you guys some background about Fortune and Forks. Sorry to y'all who have sat through this multiple times.
Yeah, you're gonna hear it again.
But y'all know the drill. And then we are going into the programming for the night, which we'll talk about a little after. So we founded Fortune and Forks in 2017. Very long ago.
We old.
And yes, we getting there. And Naomi and I both kind of had like different missions for finding, Fortune and Forks or creating Fortune and Forks. For me, it was really about honoring ourselves on our journey to success, but also honoring other women of color who are working day in and day out, whether they're in front of the scenes or behind the scenes. Hey, you want to tell me yours?
Yeah, and for me, Fortune and Forks is very much about power building amongst women of color and figuring out sort of what skills, tools, resources we have to share with each other. And year over year, you guys have made this space what it is. So we're super grateful for you all. And we're excited for all the new faces here to kind of experience this room, this community. Meet a friend, make a friend, don't be afraid to ask questions. I always say I like these rooms to be much more, not so much what do you do, but more about how can I help you and what can I do for you. So we are gonna hear a couple words from one of our restaurant owners who is a bomb-ass woman of color.
Restaurant owner.
When pretty much everyone told us it was not gonna work, don't even try, you're gonna waste all of your money. And it looked very dim for a long time. And because of that, we opened up to community, to our community via social media, and we just poured our heart out and said our story. The fact that I was pregnant, I had a child already, and we felt like in that moment we were going to literally lose everything. And what we saw was our community come together to support us even when we didn't know it. So leading up to our opening, we can literally only open the sidewalk. But when we told everyone, hey, you're not allowed inside, but come and support us outside, we were astonished by the amount of support that the community gave us. The line was wrapped around the corner. People that knew the press or that knew influencers were telling them, come to Kokomo, support, support, support. And it made us one of the #1 restaurants in New York City. But we are also trying our hand in fine dining, and we're opening a French Caribbean steakhouse. Hopefully, either the end of this year or next year, you all will get an invite.
We're also celebrating 1 year of winning an NAACP Image
First weekend, and I told my parents, I can't do it. I'm not fast enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough. And they said, okay, you can cry for today. You need to get back on that plane and go back to New York City. And so I went back to New York City. I came in 3 hours early so I could catch up with these girls. And eventually I caught up with those girls and I was able to kind of hold my own. I was at NBC for 10 years. I went from intern to vice president in 10 years.
Woo!
And I think I was able to do that because of powerful women who saw in me something that I didn't see in myself. There were times I came to work and I just was like, nobody cares about the work that I do. Nobody cares about this little girl from Atlanta. And it was a black woman who pulled me into her office and said, you are not working hard enough. You are just barely getting by, and I see that you are not trying. And I started to cry, like I'm not gonna do now, but I just felt so seen. And, you know, a lot of times we think we can't go on, we can't do hard things, it's gonna be the end. Who are we to kind of make impact? And it's rooms like this and women like that that really show you that you can do hard things, and there are people that have come before you who have opened the doors to do it for you.
So this dress that I pre-ordered from Revolve and Forward, I got it in 2 colors, this color and the brown color. I pre-ordered it like, I want to say 3 months ago. It might have been around like November, and it was just probably a dress that was in such high demand. And it just arrived. What's today? Or it arrived like yesterday, so like February, end of February is when it arrived. And I know I like it, but I just feel like this dress is a little bit more underwhelming than I thought it would be. Let me see if I can take my camera somewhere. Oh no, not me stepping on stuff. Take my camera somewhere to give you a better view. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. And I think once I actually fully get dressed up, I'll really like it. But the material is like, I mean, I knew it was slinky material. But I wanted it to be like slinky snatched material. And like, I don't know, there's just a lot of looseness. Like this is a, let me try somewhere else to show you a good view. And that probably would be better. This is a size small, and I feel like it's looser than what I would want. Yeah, I think it's just looser than what I would want. I don't think it's enough for me to go back and get an extra small because of the shoulders, but I don't know. I'm definitely gonna keep it, but like, look, like it's just like, I like my dresses, like I need you to show, right? Like I need you to be snatched. I don't know if I'm being dramatic, but it's cute though, and I think with these heels, it's a little vibe. Let me try on the brown version, because the brown one, I think I would do a full like brown monochromatic look, so let me try on the brown. Indeed, there is something about the brown that I like way more. I already have the jacket on. I actually technically have 2 jacket options, but I really love this jacket. But this is what the brown looks like. I don't really love the fact that like the slink can be undone, and a double knot looks different, but I absolutely would wear this dress with these Kendall Miles heels. So let me just slide them on. I'm not gonna actually tie them, but you know me, I'm honestly, my style is actually pretty lazy. Like there are some people that I see and really admire because I'm like, oh, I really love the way you put that together. But for me, it's like dresses, those are really simple to work with because it's just one piece. Monochromatic looks, again, really easy to work with because it's just one color. I don't really play around too much with accessories. I'm such a like dainty accessory girl. So like it ends up really not being that much. But what I do, the reason why I can do simple, or I feel like I can work with simple, is because of my shape. The like waist, like I just feel like what it is really just picking pieces that work for my shape, and that ends up being like what like drives a lot of the like looking like I have style when really I'm just choosing what works for me and what works for my body. So yeah, this is actually sick. I'm obsessed with the dress in the chocolate version. I need pictures in this. I might have to force a little brother to pull up and take pictures of me in this look. Because what are you talking about? So I am admittedly so bad at this whole be a consistent vlogger thing. So I already know that this video is about to be choppy. I already know it's all over the place. I just already know. What am I about to do? But I always say, like, when you're doing the work, you can't vlog about doing the work because you're actually doing the work. So I was actually doing work today. Well, it was a combination of multiple things. I will admit. So I booked a trip. I just have been, I need to take out the trash, that stinks. I've just been like itching to go somewhere. I'm like, why don't I have, like, I just think I'm in the phase of my life where I want to like travel. And like, the good thing is, and you know what, like that I should be, obviously, like I don't know when I'm gonna get married. I don't know when I'm gonna have kids. God willing, all of that happens. And I really do think it will happen. So instead of like, you know, feeling away or moping or complaining about being fully single and kid-free, I don't think I'll complain about being kid-free because the way I see some people struggling, I'm gonna take my time on that one. But I'm just like, yeah, like this should be the era where I'm traveling, like, because think about it, like when I have kids, like, yeah, I could leave the kids behind, but like, I can't do it all. It's like, I can't be taking like 12 trips a year, leaving the kids behind each and every time. Dress from Jean Paul Gaultier. Let's see. I don't think I'm gonna try it on just this moment, so I'm just gonna leave that there for a little and declutter, continue to declutter. So I'm like, yeah, like this can be my travel era, like, and as I continue to travel more, like, hopefully I can get more partnerships with hotels. I haven't really done hotel partnerships. I did one with Expedia, but that was a staycation in New York, literally like 15 minutes from me. So I'm hoping to be more consistent with the travel content, but also like I really genuinely thrive or like feel energized when I take trips, and that's something that I realized after some conversations with my life coach. A little abrupt change of scenery because I've made it to Aruba for the weekend. I needed some sun. I'm trying to get my tan back that I lost from Zanzibar like 5 months ago at this point, 6 months ago. 4 months ago, actually, 4 or 5. So yeah, I'm just here at my hotel. It's Saturday morning and I am about to head to the boat that's gonna take me to the private beach. I've reached that point in vacation where my hair is messy and I don't even care. This happened because on the boat ride here, I sat in the back, and if you sit in the back, you will get hit with all of the water that's getting pushed from the boat on the sides. So it was clipped from my hair as soon as I sat down on that boat, but I don't even care because, like, I don't know, there's something just so freeing about just not caring how my hair looks. It is what it is. I've been chilling on the beach. I've been tanning. I really came because I was losing my tan from Zanzibar. So I got my tan back. I'm good for another few days or a few weeks. But I'm actually sitting here thinking of, it's crazy. This is the thing about going on vacation. Sitting here in the sun has got me thinking about my next trip, and I don't know, I don't really have plans for my birthday, like the actual day, and it's making me just like a little nervous because I feel like there's so much build up to a birthday, and like I don't think I'm gonna do anything. So I'm actually toying with the idea of just going to Turks for like 2 nights, and just celebrating my birthday there. That way I can like at least be on the beach, you know, so we'll see. My little brother is home for spring break, so I might honestly just like have him tag along so that I can have someone to take pictures of me, and also so that I'm not like fully alone, but like we'll just be chilling on the beach all day. So that's just an idea. I'm toying with either Turks or Jamaica. Jamaica I've been to before, but in Turks I haven't, so Turks gets a +1 for places, for that, because I want new places, new stamps, you know, make the list longer. But with Jamaica, I think there are like more activities that I could do, so like the bamboo thing or whatever. I also love Jamaican food, so Turks is like shorter by flight by an hour, but that's pretty much it. Good evening. This is now the second time that I'm wearing this Kwame Adusei dress out. I didn't get pictures the first time. I'm solo on this trip, so unclear if I will get pictures this time, but I love a good dress and I'm not afraid to repeat. So if I have to wear it, if it takes 3 times to wear it to get a photo in it, that's fine with me, because it just means that I save myself the hassle of not having something to wear when I go out. But I'm pretty much about to head to dinner, the Flying Fishbone, which is like a really, like, it's just a restaurant that people recommend because it's on the water. So yeah, I'm just like, I'm gonna go enjoy the vibes, enjoy the view, and then come back and maybe go out tonight, maybe not, we'll see. Currently on a horse, riding in the middle of what pretty much looks like a desert in Aruba. And it's the vibe. If you don't know, horseback riding is one of my favorite activities to do on vacation. This horse is about to have me getting through some thorny bushes, please no. So yeah, super excited to be doing it again. I literally just feel so happy and feel like such a kid when I'm doing it. So anytime I travel, if I can do it, I will do it. And I have a couple of trips planned this year. I know I'm definitely gonna do it, sis, you good? When I go to Namibia, ooh, God willing. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna try and make this horse giddy up, so we'll talk later. At the beach, taking photos. One of the horses has rolled over, which the instructor warned us about. Got on the horses that when they get to the beach, they just like really put in the water and they just want to like roll in the sand. I don't blame them, because I too would like to get down and go in the water. So, but it's beautiful here. It's beautiful. Just like that, we have come to the end of the road. I really didn't do much this weekend, and that is absolutely okay. I just needed warm weather. I needed to know that like I didn't have to be working all the time, and normally because I work from home, it's really hard for me to separate like work from not work, work from rest. So like I kind of did the same thing that I could do at home, but I also went outside. I went to a beach. I got a little tan. We love to see it. And now I'm ready to go home, and I feel like I have a battery in my back. Like I feel like I am ready to like work, which is always how I feel after a really restful vacation, and it's exactly what I wanted from this trip, and we got it. So thank you so much for spending the week with me, and yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.